another answer to a tough theological question. David asked a question about following consistently with your faith. In fact, his specific question was, what do you think is the greatest challenge in our generation in following God consistently? Now, I should say that David is a young guy, and when he says our generation, he's talking about people that are college age. But really, the challenge that people that are college age are going through are the challenges that everybody, no matter what your age in society, are going through. And I can give you a very simple answer. In fact, this could be a very short video. We could just turn the video off because I can give you the answer, and here it is right here. This is what I think is one of the greatest challenges, if not the single greatest challenge that's facing this generation of Christians. Now, I'm not saying just because it was an Apple device, it's Apple's fault. I'm not asking you to go out and buy a Samsung. This is not about who makes the tablet, computer, television. I'm talking about the raw assault of entertainment. And it's not just news or social media or games. It's everything, everywhere, all the time. We're assaulted by entertainment in a way today that most of ancestors in history, in 10 minutes, we have in 10 minutes the amount of entertainment that most people wouldn't have in a lifetime. And that entertainment is not necessarily morally bad or morally good until it starts to push something else out of the picture. And because this assault is so relentless, and it's not just young people, it's middle-aged people, it's old people, everybody is surrounded by entertainment all the time. We never get a break from it. And that entertainment, if you don't discipline yourself, push out your relationship with God. So how does somebody who really wants to grow in a relationship with God, really wants to walk deeper with Jesus, really wants to become more like Him, how do they continue to say no to the relentless demand for your attention? Because every day it just becomes more and more intense, the shouts for your attention. Well, I think this takes supernatural help. I think you need the Holy Spirit of the living God to help say no to some good things so that you can say yes to the best thing. You might need to say no to some games. You might need to say no to some movies. You might need to say no to some books or some binge watching Netflix, just so that you can dedicate regular time to walking with Jesus. Because David, you used a very specific word in your question. You asked, what is the single greatest challenge or obstacle to walking with God consistently? And there's the word consistently right there. Yeah, maybe you do it for a day, maybe you do it for a week, maybe you do it for a month, but this relentless assault for your time and your attention that entertainment is hitting you with, man, I don't know how anybody says no consistently without the help of the Holy Spirit. But can I remind you how important this is? There's two verses in the New Testament that I want to read to you in just a second. It comes at the end of the Apostle Paul's letter to his best friend, one of his young men in the faith, a guy by the name of Timothy. And Paul mentions somebody at the end of that letter that if you've read the Bible, you already know this guy's name. In the book of Colossians and in the books of Philemon, you hear about this guy by the name of Demas, who apparently hung out with Paul, who apparently spent time with Paul, who apparently was helping Paul make disciples and build the church. And the way that Demas is described in the books of Colossians and Philemon, this guy's a pretty amazing guy. He's a pretty good dude. In fact, Paul mentions him because he wants the people that are reading those letters, the church in Colossae and Philemon, to recognize Demas for all of his hard work. And then in 2 Timothy chapter 4, Paul says something shocking about Demas. In fact, anybody who has been hanging around with church people for a while probably knows somebody in their life like Demas. 2 Timothy chapter 4, verses 9 and 10. Listen to what happened to Demas. Paul says, make every effort to come to me soon. He's talking to his best friend Timothy. He says, make every effort to come to me soon. Verse 9, because Demas has deserted me, since he loved this present world and has gone to Thessalonica. The language that Paul is using here is, we were doing great things together. The language that Paul is using here suggests that he and Demas were doing great things together. Demas got distracted, and then Demas deserted Paul, turned his back on Paul. And we can only assume from the way that this is written that Demas also turned his back on God. The reason why I asked you to look or consider with me 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 10, is because Paul tells us what happened to Demas. And I am convinced if this can happen to Demas in an age before the internet and social media and 24-hour news and a proliferation of books and movies out there, if this can happen to Demas in his day, wow, we have no choice but to be on guard in our day. Paul says, Demas deserted me, and here's why. Because he loved this world. And he went on to Thessalonica. Demas got entertained. Demas got distracted. And then Demas got deserted. Or then Paul got deserted by Demas, and maybe, we don't know, but maybe Demas never returned to the faith. And I just want to say, David, you asked a really, really, really important question, because every day we're absolutely assaulted by this intense amount of entertainment that wants to scream for your attention, and it will not let you alone. So David, you need supernatural help. I need supernatural help. Everybody who's watching this video needs the supernatural help of the Holy Spirit so that you and I don't become like Demas and we fall in love with this world because we become distracted, and so distracted that we desert God. How do you walk with God consistently? You do it like your life depends on it, David, because every second of every day you are being assaulted by entertainment, and that entertainment will pull your attention. Even if it's good entertainment, it will pull your attention away from the best thing to focus on, pull your attention away from Jesus. So thanks for asking a really important question, David, and I hope you have a great week. See you next time. I can work with a guy like that.